Good evening, Aries. This is going to be your reading for July 2023. This is Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, as well as a cross watcher for the Aries. So we're getting right into it because here's the Queen of Swords making her presence known. Somebody has an attitude. Of course you do, Aries. Of course you have an attitude. Why wouldn't you? You are like the queens and kings of attitude. Seriously. And the Three of Swords. Ooh. Somebody's breaking somebody's heart. Somebody broke someone's heart. Somebody's the Queen of Swords because of this. Which happens. I mean, I get it. It's like it molded you into being a bitch, for a lack of a better term. It's like very cutthroaty, very defensive. Ooh, okay. Okay, and the Magician. Okay, that makes sense. So, somebody's delusional. It's like somebody actually thinks that they can come back around with their bullshit. They think they can come back around with the same song and dance, the same crap, the same low vibrational energy. Okay? That's what they think. This could be somebody that you've been dealing with, somebody from the past. This could be an ex. This could be a current situation. Take it however it resonates for you. We got the Nine of Pentacles. See ya. This is like a very independent card. I'm getting from it, again, it's like somebody thinks they can come back around with their bullshit. I get that, and I get the feeling of like, what the fuck do you want? It's like they're stable, you know, their stability, they have their money, they have their home, they have, it's like focused on them. This is the type of energy here, is like being focused on you. And it's like there's somebody that, you know, wants to, they want a piece of it. But they didn't want a piece of you before, when it wasn't like that. You know, when you didn't have all that. When you were struggling to get to this point, they didn't want you at that point. Okay, Five of Cups and the Four of Swords. I'm sensing like a deep, deep regret here. Like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. They're like wallowing in their pain. Like, it's just too much. There was definitely like some sort of separation here. I feel like, you know, again, like this could be somebody that you are dealing with and maybe you're on a break from. But it's definitely like there was a separation for a period of time. Significant period of time. The Justice. I'm getting big karma here. Like, I'm getting big karma from Page of Pentacles, Justice, and the Magician. And this Five of Cups. Like this is the karma right here. This is Five of Cups. It's like really crappy energy to sit in, and like it's karma. It's like, oh yeah, well you shouldn't have, you know, you shouldn't have broken people's hearts. You shouldn't have acted that way. You shouldn't have acted irrational. You shouldn't have. Death. Yeah, well, you shouldn't have let it. You shouldn't have let it die. When the flame was just igniting. I feel like that's what they did. They just let the flame die. They just let the fire die. They put it out before it could become anything. It had all this potential, but they put it out. Yeah, you got the King of Wands. Hang on a second here. Okay. King of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. The Hierophant. And the Three of Cups. I feel like in the past it was like it was bullshit. You know, there were options. You were an option, they were an option. You could have treated each other like an option. It was like somebody didn't want to be an option. And the other person wanted to keep it optional. You got the Ten of Wands. Yeah, this is like, I feel like whoever wanted it to be optional at the time is now like it's something that they're carrying with them heavily now. It's like it's just a big huge weight on their shoulders. Like it shoulda, coulda, woulda. Could have been everything. Could have been this Ace of Pentacles, but you know, again, they wanted to treat you like a piece of ass, an option, a toy, consolation prize. They didn't want this commitment. They didn't want to commit. You got the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like I get from this Ten of Pentacles, like they made it seem like they wanted to commit. They always kept making it seem like it, you know, when you were together, they would act one way, and then like the next, it would just be like it didn't matter, like it never happened. It was back and forth. They didn't want to commit, and I feel like yeah. See, the Ace of Swords. Before I get into the Ace of Swords, what I was going to say is, I feel like in the past they didn't want to commit, but then they went and they committed with somebody else because it was easier. It was easier than you, because you required effort. You required that effort, and so they didn't want to make that effort. They wanted somebody to eat something. They wanted something easy, something that, you know, didn't require all that effort. They didn't have to change. See, and that's what that's the truth there. Okay, what this is, Ace of Swords. That's like the truth that you figured out. It took a long time, you know, but it's like over time, the realization has become they, that they didn't want to change. They wanted to continue to be an asshole because it was easier. Because again, okay, this Queen of Swords and the Three of Swords, it protected them. Them being an ass, being a bitch here, okay? Her being a bitch protects her from this. She doesn't want to be vulnerable. You got the Nine of Cups and the Seven of Wands. Judgment. And the King of Pentacles. Yeah, very defensive. See, and they can come around now and you're going to be defensive. But it's like, I feel like, that's why I get here at the same time. Somebody, you know, is defensive about somebody coming back, but at the same time, it's like really what they want, you know? It's like they really, truly, deep down, like, want this, like, transformation. They want to see them evolve. Somebody wants to see somebody evolved. And someone here is evolved. And it could be both of you, or it could just be one of you that's just, the, you know, the independent one, and is very stable, and is focused on money, and focused on, you know, the things that they want. The things you want. You're focused on you. You know, which is another reason why you could be defensive, because it's like, no, I'm focused on me. I don't want to get into this. I don't want to entertain this. Six of Pentacles. There was like a lack of equal give and take. I feel like there's been a theme in a lot of your relationships, or in a lot of their relationships. However it resonates here, you know, there's a lack of give and take. Somebody was just taking. Somebody was giving, and not getting in return. And that sucks, not getting in return. And I feel like someone here is at the point where it's like, no, I'm not going to get into anything unless I see effort. I feel like for this to work out again, there would have to be an apology. There would have to be a big, huge apology. A sincere one. Because I feel like in the past there was an apology, like a half-assed apology. Like it was very, very obvious that it was half-assed. Like I'm sorry that I led you on. You know, it's in a way where it's like, why even say it? Because it's that obvious that it's just so insincere. And again, you know, playing the Queen of Swords to not be vulnerable. Yeah, they were preaching to be vulnerable. That sometimes you have to be vulnerable. They would preach. They wouldn't practice what they preach. And you know, with this Judgment, they may come back proclaiming that, you know, they are practicing what they preach, but be careful with this Magician. Because, you know, they could be putting on another show. Too much. Okay, one more. The Nine of Wands. Yeah. I mean, overall, there's been a lot of like hurt here, a lot of wounds, a lot of destruction. It's like, and not just from this situation, but it stems from other situations too. It's like somebody's had enough. Somebody's done fighting. Somebody's done tired of constant war. You know, like just done with it. Okay, Aries? So, that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know in the comments. And if you like the... It's been a while since I've done a video. I apologize. So, I'm just kind of like a little rusty here. But if you did like this video, please like it. Please share, subscribe if you would like to on my channel. I always appreciate it. And I will see you later. You have a good night.